She's just scraped in.
Jody.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
See, we're going to continue with the class that we had during the campaign.
Excuse me.
It's all right. The election that I have...
This will be a warning. I will be asking people to leave unless we get this completed.
I will carry on with my speech. I understand that a strong woman standing up to you is met with such reticence. Anyway, this election has been... Can you throw them out?
All right, excuse me. Before we have our first speeches, that's final warning.
This election has been the worst election I have ever stood in. Today, a brilliant community activist who puts on events for every single part of our community came out to campaign with me, and people filmed her on the streets and then slashed her tyres. A young woman on her own delivering leaflets was filmed and screamed at by a much older man in the street. Today, I was to be joined by the family of Joe Cox, who wanted to come out and campaign with me. And there is absolutely no way I could have allowed for them to see what was aggressive and violence in our democracy. And now to the positive. Birmingham Yardley gave my family everything that we have. And today, actually not today, yesterday, was the 13th anniversary of my mother dying. And my mother was born in Gleneagles Road in Yardley. And my dad lived in a council house round the corner. And everything good that they ever had, and everything good that my children had, that I had as a child, was provided for us by successive Labour governments. The greatest honour to my mother today is that we will have a chance, not just to be an opposition MP, but to be somebody who opens things, just doesn't have to campaign just about closing them. Our country is in desperate, desperate need, and our politics is in even greater need of cleaning up. And I thank everybody in this room for making a really good spectacle of proving that for me. I'd like to thank the people who work for me so incredibly hard, to John, to David, to Catherine, to Olivia, to Anna, Apollo and Jane, and to my amazing activists, Yvette, Zafar and Sakib, who have worked like absolute Trojans in this election. I'd also like to thank West Midlands Police for the constant phone calls they had to take from me today, and for their responses to the aggression that we have suffered. I'd like to thank my husband and my children. I didn't bring my children here tonight because I knew that this would happen, and they deserve better. And I know that a Labour government will provide them with better, and they will build a better future for our city. And just finally, I love that my seat was a marginal seat. I think marginal seats make better members of Parliament. And that is exactly what I have always been and always will be.